More than 10 unbelievable survival stories of people who defied death. 1. Vesna Vulovic, surviving a plane crash. In 1972, Serbian flight attendant Vesna Vulovic survived after a plane fell from a height of 10,000 meters over the mountains of Czechoslovakia. Vesna became the sole survivor of the crash and was recorded in the Guinness World Records for the longest fall without a parachute. 2. Aaron Ralston, surviving in the Utah mountains. In 2003, Aaron faced a dangerous situation while climbing in the Utah mountains when a boulder fell on his arm, trapping him for 5 days. Aaron eventually decided to amputate his arm using a small pocket knife to save his life. His story inspired the film 127 Hours. 3. Stephen Callahan, 76 Days Adrift in the Ocean. In 1982, Stephen Callahan lost his boat during a sailing trip and had to survive on a lifeboat for 76 days in the Atlantic Ocean. He relied on fishing and collecting rainwater to stay alive. 4. Julian Kupcha, survival in the Amazon rainforest. In 1971, German-Peruvian girl Julian Kupcha survived a plane crash in the Amazon rainforest and was the only survivor. She lived for 9 days in the jungle, relying on available fruit and water until she was found by local villagers. 5. Peter Scott, drowning in the Arctic. In 1913, Peter Scott and his cruise ship sank in the Arctic, leaving them stranded. Peter managed to survive by building a small hut and relying on fishing. He was rescued after several months. 6th Uruguayan Air Force Flight 571, surviving the Andes tragedy. In 1972, a plane carrying a sports team crashed in the Andes Mountains, where most passengers died. 16 people managed to survive for over 70 days in freezing temperatures, making tough decisions to stay alive. 7. Harrison O'Keefe, 3 days underwater. In 2013, Harrison O'Keefe, a cook on a Nigerian ship, survived after the vessel sank, and he was trapped in a small air pocket underwater for 3 days. He was discovered by a rescue team who initially thought they were searching for bodies. 8. Hugh Glass, bear attack and back from the dead. In 1823, Hugh Glass was attacked by a bear during an expedition in the American wilderness and was left for dead by his companions. He managed to crawl for 320 kilometers to reach the nearest settlement and receive medical treatment. His story inspired the film The Revenant. 9. Caroline Cochrane, surviving the Australian desert. In 1994, Caroline got lost with her friend in the Australian desert after their water and food ran out. She survived for 10 days relying on very limited water until she was found by a search and rescue plane. 10. Rick Rescorla, survival. During 9/11, Rick Rescorla was the head of security for a company in the South Tower of the World Trade Center during the 9/11 attacks. He led over 2,700 people to safety before the tower collapsed, sacrificing his life in an attempt to rescue more trapped individuals. These stories showcase the resilience and strength of human will, illustrating how people can survive in the harshest and most unexpected conditions. If you enjoyed this video, please support us by following and liking for more topics.